Good day. Welcome to another exciting episode of Loyalty. On our last episode, we discussed about the validity of the declaration of the state of emergency in Rivers State. Well, following this declaration, the Nigerian Bar Association moved their annual conference, which was supposed to hold in Rivers State, to Enugu on the grounds that the declaration of state of emergency and appointment of a sole administrator is unconstitutional. This has sparked numerous reactions. That the sole administrator is saying, fine, if you want to take your conference, that's okay, but return the 300 million that was given to the NBA by Rivers State. This has sparked another reaction. Bola Lawal says, NBA, return the gift, please. While St. Phil says they will return it when the democratically elected governor is returned, not to an impost. Let's get into it. I have my tea and I have my colleagues here to bring you hot tea. On my left, I have
Olayinka, Olaore.
Olayinka is a reputable lawyer, and we're happy to have her here at the Lawyer's Tea to discuss this topic. On my right is a favorite. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Thank you so much. My name is Ayodele Samuel Adepitan. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure having you guys here. So let's get into this tea. Should NBA return the 300 million naira or not? Let me start with you.
Two aspects. I think we're going to look at it from the constitutional aspect and the welfareism aspect.
Okay.
Yes. But the NBA is being compelled to return this money. I'll have to question myself or any other person that who is NBA returning this money to? Okay. Is it the Fubara at home or the IBAs that is illegally and unconstitutionally appointed right now as the sole administrator?
Okay.
Well, I believe you want to. Yeah. The fact remains we should establish some things on ground. The money in question does not belong to Fubara. It does not belong to IBAS. It belongs to Rivers State of Nigeria. So you understand that NBA does not have any moral standard to still hold on to that money. I'm a lawyer. All of us are lawyers. So if this IBAS does not come to the public to let us know about this money, nobody will know about this thing. So what are we now telling ourselves? NBA, to the eyes of the society, they are the mirrors through which everybody is looking out to that what we are supposed to do the right thing. What is the motto of NBA? Promoting the rule of law. So how is the rule of law will be promoted if NBA still hold on to the money? Because the money was given to them in the name that they are going to host their conference in Rivers State. Now it has been transferred to Enugu State. So what are we not saying?
The NBA president said that the money was given to them unconditionally. So what is the condition for them returning the money?
And so it's morality.
Morality.
We know that law and morality, they are two parallel lines that must not meet. But the fact remains that if when the NBA president is come to the public to let us know that this is not constitutional, is not be appointed, is not stated in the constitution, and they may measure that money in ab initio, I will have stand up and start giving a clap. But this money was not made measured by NBA, it was made measured by the IBAS. Okay. And what is NBA now telling us? It was when that statement came on board, to me, I was saying no, it's not the rumor. But at the end of the day, NBA confirmed the receipt of that money in their word, voluntary giving. But that voluntary giving, they are not. The reason why they give you the money is it won't be going on again. So why are you still going to the money?
Like saying that NBA, it was IBAS that came out to question the money first in the public.
Yes.
You don't expect NBA to announce something that is a gift.
Yes.
It's a gift towards the conference, annual general conference that's holding. And let's look at this thing. This NBA conference, they've been planning this thing since 2024 August. It's been on plan. They've met those that they're supposed to meet before the picture of suspension or
came on board.
Came up.
And it was a democratically elected
and that was why.
And a constitutional Rivers State that gave this money to NBA. So who are they? Like she mentioned, who are they returning the money to? NBA is still saying that what is happening in Rivers State is illegal and unconstitutional, and you are asking them to, who are they going to return the money to?
NBA cannot approbate and reprobate. I remember that they came out publicly to condemn the appointment of a sole administrator in Rivers State, and having come out to condemn it. So returning the money means they are acknowledging that okay, this authority that is in Rivers State currently is recognized and maybe constitutional.
I beg to differ. This thing is very simple. The money is done will not be returned to the personal account of Ibas. It will be returned to the account of Rivers State that is domiciled with Central Bank of Nigeria. So it is simple. If you say you don't want to have anything to do with any unconstitutionality, you want to stand on your word, why are you still holding on to the money
who will
that
now
was given to
appropriate
you?
that money? Who is the money under the administration of?
Raise the
Under the
price.
administration
No.
of the unconstitutionally appointed
No, raise the draft. Submit it to the central bank. We know how this thing is being done. Then
We don't know.
you can
What
put
if
a
you can raise
caveat.
a draft?
You can keep a caveat there. When this person that we recognize the governor of Rivers State comes on board, the money should be what? Should be cashing, or by then should be transferred effectively by then. Why would they have but they have the power to receive money?
Of course, they have the power to receive
But they don't have money. They have the
they
power.
can't dictate to the CBN how the money that they are returning back to Rivers State should be appropriated.
Why would you? Are you not the one returning the money?
It's not even their money.
If I approach back,
It's a gift that was given to them.
it is a gift, but the end result of that gift, there's a comma at the end. So what are we now telling ourselves? If NBA say they are not supporting Ibas coming on board, then why are they still holding on to this particular money? It is simple. Now, I don't want to go through the nitty-gritty of the whole thing. The fact is that the point I will still keep on holding is that NBA it was supposed to hold their conference in Rivers State. Now it has been moved. So the money that they collected, they should be returned, because at the end of the day, Enugu state government will still support NBA, and every other state will still support NBA. So it is simple. If by the time they return the money and it comes on board, then I say, okay, what is all the money? That's it.
Not facing what he is there appointed for right now, and he's after collecting, or let me say getting money that's been taken out of the government funds and all of post and all of that. Why not face what Fubara, after the old suspension, decides to come back later and says, NBA, please return the money because you didn't host, eventually you didn't hold your conference in my state. It's a different thing. Ibas is not there for this purpose. And I think this is a misplaced priority.
It is not. Madam Host, do you know that the 2024 Appropriation Act, or whatever be, that was passed by that house, and which money have been expended by the Rivers State government is unconstitutional. What does it mean? It means that the 300 million naira that the Rivers State government under Fubara gave to NBA is unconstitutional.
Then
So it is so if NBA continue to be in custody of that money, it shows that what we are preaching, promoting the rule of law, we are against it. So to be in the safer side, NBA is more than 300 million. To be on the safer side, NBA just return the money with a caveat that okay, it can say, because whether you like it or the money is not going to be given to him. Ibas was brought in to maintain what? Status quo, to maintain good governance, to make sure that because they can never be vacuum in any state. So what we are saying is that NBA should return the money at the end of it for the interest of promoting the rule of law that we are saying everywhere. So
Agreeing but not conceding that NBA should return the money, I still side with Olayinka that even if they are going to return, not now, when a constitutionally elected governor is on the helm of affairs of Rivers State, before we can start imposing on NBA to return. They cannot, what did you call it, appropriate and reprobate at the same time.
the point is that NBA should hold on to their motto, which is promoting the rule of law, because this word is not just that promoting the rule of law, it's all encompassing in the sense that this issue of if the public is to support you, is to place you in high esteem, then you should what paint to the public that yes, you are not, there is no form of any, not to call it corruption, and the moral bias in it, because whether we like it or not, all the thing that was going on before, NBA did not say anything about it. It was when they appointed that NBA now say is unconstitutional. So NBA should be what should be seen to be that association that what or the pressure that make pressure on the government that they should do the right thing.
He was actually moved because of this same motto that you're saying, that you're talking about promoting the rule of law, right? It was to promote the rule of law, because if they had gone there with their full chest, how would they have told the public, or what story would they tell the public that they are not supporting the state of emergency happening right now in Rivers State? That's a way of showing their grievances, and I see it as a peaceful protest, part of the Nigerian Bar Association.
Now is do you think that NBA should have disclosed that they received 300 million from River State?
Yes, nobody discloses, especially associations. We've all been in one or two associations before. If you're not an internal person, maybe an ESCO or something, you don't have to be disclosing what everybody is after. If this thing had not happened, without all lawyers that would have gone to that conference without minding where they got the money or sponsorship from, and everybody just have their fun, learn what they need to learn, and get out. So nobody discloses how.
My style, respond, you dey hot.
Well, you can see that I'll be smiling. Well, I don't have issue with any disclosure. But the fact remains that if you say you are not in support of a particular process, then you should come to the public with your full chest, just as you have said, to disclose everything involved in that process that you have been standing. If you permit me to read some message from the NBA president, as forwarded to some of the NBA platforms, that the money in question was donated by Rivers State government in response to our letter of request for sponsorship dated sometime in January 2025. It must be noted that the thing the money was sought for were stated in the letter. It was clearly not for any purported sponsorship right. We have established that. Now, he also said, we have done nothing wrong and are not insisting on holding on to money we are not entitled to. Permit me to know that the danger in your view is that any person who donated money to NBA for the conference can, for good reason or no reason, insist on the refund of such donation. He went further to say, may I reiterate that a gift given without any condition, as in this case, cannot be demanded for or refunded. He now make his point. We will therefore not refund any money to River State. Now, and even the planning committee made mention of his own points. His own response was committee chairman, Mr. Emeka Obiagulu, SCN. He said, we would like to clarify that the decision to host the 2025 AGC in Port Harcourt was taken in August 2024. We have established that I was not subject to any bidding. He said, traditionally, because of the numerous costs involved in hosting the AGC, NBA Conference Planning Committee approaches organization, agency of government and state government for support, and the support requested for is unconditional and not tied to hosting right or any right whatsoever. He said he went as far as NBA conference have been supported over time by agency that had the same view with NBA, what's it called, NBA vision. Now, he said he went as far, and I made some points. I said, promoting the rule of law is the motto of NBA. I don't think the NBA said anything regarding the audit does the needful. At least they can return the money to the state with the caveat that when a democratically elected government is at the end of affairs, we must purge ourselves from any impunity and retain the association integrity. For crying out loud, the new venue is now in Enugu State and not Rivers State. It cannot be preaching about something and be saying otherwise. Now, it is simple for NBA to just purge ourselves from any impunity and for us to still maintain and retain our integrity as NBA promoting the rule of law. The money should be returned. If by tomorrow Fubara come back and say, okay, this money is for you, it's our own support for the conference, take it. There's no problem.
I still maintain the money. I even thought that the money was even given as a hosting state, saying we are supporting the NBA. But the NBA wrote to other states, wrote to other organizations from your this state. So if there is there not bias towards River State? A democratically elected governor, under a democratically elected governor, the River State gave NBA 300 million naira. Other states gave, other organizations gave. Are you telling me that in those other states that they are not people that support what is happening in River State? So should they now start returning all their monies? Then where is the integrity of the NBA? Is a legally recognized body. It cannot go about the money was given unconditionally. It was not given on the condition of hosting or not hosting. And they have maintained their stand that, look, what is happening in River State is unconstitutional, it is illegal, and we do not stand by it. If you're asking them to return the money, you're asking them to return the money to an unconstitutionally appointed sole administrator, which they said they will not do. And me, I stand behind my president. We will not return 300 million naira that we solicited for on the basis of the letter we solicited. You gave it to us. We have gone. You said we should come out. In fact, who are they even declaring to? I know that the NBA usually declares their financial status to its members, and its members know, okay, this is what is happening, this is not what is happening, or there is no need for them to come about and be playing hanky panky with who gave me money, who did not give me money. That's just bringing child's play into something very serious. There is no need for that. In fact, the sole administrator coming out to say return our money because you are no longer, is just petty. That's just pettiness. Honestly, it's pettiness, and it should not. I appreciate the stand of the NBA saying we will not return the money. You can't bully the NBA. It's like trying to persecute them for saying the truth. They cannot be bullied. They have said what they said. The appointment of a sole administrator, the suspension of Fubara is unconstitutional, and the NBA does not stand by it. Finish.
Well, I'm an MBA, and I support everything that MBA stands for. If we had the mirror or the society, there is nothing different in it. You are against this, the money, but you are in support of the money that you are giving. You can't be talking from the both side of the mouth. If you say you are against something, but you are in support of the money that was given against something that you are against, then what are we now preaching? What are we preaching? As a matter of fact, Enugu State will still give NBA money to paint that picture in the society that NBA promotes rule of law. They should return this money. We should purge ourselves from any impunity. We should purge ourselves from any form of integrity. We should retain our integrity.
This is an expected situation.
Yeah.
It is expected. It's because the NBA issue is out here right now. River State is going to face more and more investors avoiding that state for now. It's not just NBA. They should be ready for that, because a lot of people will just look at it like they are not safe. State of emergency going on,
suspension of the
governor, and then an ex-military being the current, and then allegedly his style of operating has been a command style. I don't know, but I know that a lot of people would avoid that. And for welfareism's sake, let's look at welfareism. Let's look at the lives of people going there to go and say they want to hold the conference. It's not going to work.
If I will ask you this question, how nice will it be if you heard that NBA is okay, because of this reason we are moving our conference, and because of this that is going on in the state, we are returning the money to the state?
Let me tell you the truth. If NBA can stand against what is happening in River State, despite receiving money from River State, knowing that this can even be a repercussion, can be a consequence, and they are saying in the face of any unconstitutional power, anything that is against the constitution, you can stand against it and you will win. Them not conceding is show of strength. It's showing the average Nigerian out there that regardless, without political backing or anything, regardless, stand for the truth. Even if they say they will take away privileges, they will take away, stand for the truth. There are people like us that will still stand for the truth, regardless of any consequence whatsoever. And I stand again with the NBA that we know they return shishi.
Well, your opinion is your opinion, even though the only opinion that I have that is slightly different is that for integrity's sake, that NBA have been known for years. See, we are not see, if you look at some of the itineraries and some of the men that stood behind NBA from times past, you know that if you happen to be them, it will be straightforward. Please take the money.
Take the money. Already been proved.
As you know, I said something that subject to the Supreme Court judgment.
Until the Constitutional Committee come for that.
Let the Supreme Court tell NBA to resolve it, then we know.
If there's a law, if there's a judgment that I say this money was not properly appropriated for, what are you supposed to do as a body that promotes rule of law?
Coming from,
it's a question that you should answer.
Given, on the contrary, I'm actually of the opinion that the suspension of the governor is actually constitutional. But I want everybody, if you can speak, if you can face the lion, if it tears you apart, let it tear you apart. The NBA have said what they said, and I support the NBA saying they said this is unconstitutional. But don't come and tell me to return money that a democratically elected governor gave to this organization on the grounds that we solicited for funds, the same way we solicited to other states. They gave these funds unconditionally, and they gave it not on the grounds of hosting. They did not give it as a hosting state. They gave this as a gift absolute. Take for your annual, except we say that the annual general conference is being cancelled. That's when we say, oh, they return the money. But as long as the annual general conference is holding, hold the money and give us a conference. Yes.
Well, it is fine. I know and I believe that Rivers State government under Fubara by then gave that money because he wants the opinion that the conference will hold in his state. Now, who till be also
No, we don't know.
We don't.
Yes, sir.
No, we don't know.
What if it's somehow that this conference will no longer hold in this state and the money that they give to you by then, with the governor having it in his mind that, oh, okay, this conference is holding my state, that is why I want to give this money, and it's no longer holding my state, and you are still going ahead to spend that money. Meanwhile, the government of Enugu State, it is likely that they will still support the conference. Coupled with the fact that other donors will still support the conference with their donation, and coupled with the fact that lawyers of different postcode have duly registered. So what are we preaching? That is what are we preaching?
The integrity thing we are talking about should even go back to Rivers State, because the sole administrator had portrayed that he does not have integrity, because how can a donation has been done and then you're coming back for it? That means you lack integrity. That means you don't want to stand on the existing protocol.
You are aware that the sole administrator
that was not done unconstitutionally.
It was not unconstitutional.
You are aware that the sole administrator have threatened to sue NBA.
He should
Yes, let's go to court.
Yes.
Because do you know that
Let's go to court.
he is speaking from facts before him in documentary evidence, because all the paperwork and everything transaction were brought before him when he resumed the office. And as a matter of fact, you know that I don't think a special is in the house, government house. It's still Fubara special that is there.
Yes.
For you to know that he's just acting to just maintain government and all.
Let him maintain it. Let him
Yes, sir.
continue.
Which is part of that's the reason why he's bringing this money out. You should give him
This
kudos.
money is not
You should
part
give
of
him kudos for even raising that money. The issue of the money
Why
off.
should we
You should give him kudos.
Why?
Did you know about it?
We don't have to. That's
We don't have to
You know about it. You don't know about it. It's your business because it's your constituency. It's your association. Are you not a member of NBA? You should know everything that's happening.
No. They give the NBA is transparent. They give us account of what is happening. You are an active NBA member. You should know that NBA gives proper accounts of what is happening, financial account.
You know about this account before the issue come up.
It is not necessary to be disclosed.
Since when it has been given in January.
Since all the conferences, how many donations have you known about?
Yes, I have known quite a lot. I have known quite a lot.
And I think a lot.
I have known quite a lot.
A lot, but how many? Do you know
event?
Exactly. That's to show that the NBA is transparent, that they are not hiding donations.
No.
But this one is not. It's not. They did not take any extra measures to hide it. They just didn't disclose it. They did not take it. If you wanted to know, you would have known. And they did not take any extra measures to hide it. The truth remains that what the sole administrator is doing is trying to witch hunt. He's trying to punish. He's trying to go after the NBA for speaking out against what the NBA. That is one of the organizations, if not one of the apex organizations on rule of law, on constitutionality and democracy in this country.
And it's trying so hard.
The body that comprises of all the lawyers, both inner bar, outer bar, comprises of all of us, even judges. That organization is what the administration is coming after. He's coming after the constitution, if I may extend. He's coming after democracy. That's who he's coming against. And NBA should stand. If the sole administrator has anything to prove that the NBA collected these monies on the ground of hosting or on any other court, he should go to court. Let him go.
Wait now. What evidence are we talking about?
What is the evidence to show that?
When before they moved the conference to Enugu State, where was it also hold?
In Port Harcourt.
What evidence are you looking for again? You know what I'm saying? It's just like me, I approach you as a colleague. Please, so I need your assistance. How far? This is what I'm passing through. This is what I want to do. The program I want to do. I need your financial. And you give me your own support. As a form of support, it's voluntary. It's not supposed to be reformed. But this thing is logical. Okay, at the end of the day, go and have projects. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do?
If the annual general conference is not holding, then the whole administration can say return the money. But the annual general conference is holding, and from the letter you read, that the planning committee, the president also said they solicited funds from organizations, from states, from members alike, even law firms. Are you telling me that law firms in Port Harcourt did not support the conference?
None that we know of.
What do you mean?
Do you know?
Are lawyers in court not going to pay?
No, you said law firm.
Law firms. There's
You said law firm. Do you
law
know
firms
anyone?
pay for their.
You didn't know any law firm, so we should not speculate. We should be faced with the issue at
Is there
hand.
speculation
The
they are
money
using to say that this money was for?
for posterity's sake, NBA is bigger than this money. NBA is bigger than this money. For promoting the rule of law, NBA should return this money.
That's
for
why
us to have a bragging right, we should return this money.
All the time brings us down.
It doesn't know.
It does.
It
Why
promotes.
would be the bigger person in this life? NBA is the bigger person by saying, I will look you in the eye, I will hold your money, and I will tell you the truth.
Hey,
Okay, so we know that if they rotate this event, right?
Yes.
This conference every year, it goes to three different states, and it's Port Harcourt's turn, right?
It's not
their turn.
It's at the discretion of the president. It's whoever state that the president deem it.
No, it's not. That's not it. That's not how it works. It goes from Lagos.
No,
I don't know
That's
how
how it
no,
works.
no.
Lagos,
There is no
Abuja,
calendar. There's no timetable anywhere.
There has
I
never
can
been a
quote me. You
place
can
where
quote me any. You can quote many times. To anybody, there is no calendar anywhere
there's no
that
calendar,
NBA
but
anything.
that has been.
It depends. NBA can say we want to hold it for the next day. It depends the president at that time.
But
He
there
can
has
say
never
for
been a
2
situation
years
where he was
I want to
done
hold it
twice
in this
in a
particular
particular
place.
place.
And
There has
that
never
once
been a
it's certified by
situation.
NEC, that's all. That's it. It depends on the president. It's not, there is no law anywhere. Just like NBA says it's voluntary
So
now.
now,
There is no any law that compels NBA to host it in any state or to shift it to any state.
okay, so the question is whether the sole administrator was appointed as a debt collector in River State, or he was appointed to restore peace, which they claim that the suspended Fubara do, right? And if whether the question of whether NBA should return this 300 million naira boils down to the purpose in which the money was given. If it was for support and say, we support you, we support the NBA conference going on, and then they should not return the money. However, if it was for hosting rights, then I think NBA should quietly return the money so as to avoid any messy legal issue. And if we are to join issues and just, I think NBA should not even answer the sole administrator in the first place because he doesn't even have the right to call NBA out because he's standing there illegally. So that is going to be my point and conclusion on this.
Well, no, thank you. In conclusion, from my own end, it is simple. I support everything that NBA stands for because I belong to NBA. As a matter of fact, it's my constituent. But for the sake of rule of law that NBA promotes, and for the sake of ethics, NBA should return this money. Permit me to read from this popular philosopher, Socrates. He said, "One who commits injustice is ever more wretched than the one who suffers it." Then the author of this article said, "It will be unjust for the NBA, a body founded on the principle of law and justice, to retain funds from a government it no longer recognizes as a legitimate host." That concludes my question, my take in this. NBA has moved from Rivers State to Enugu State because it does not recognize Rivers State as a reliable or legitimate host. So why are you still holding on to the money of the illegitimate host? That you are not recognizing Rivers State, but you are still holding on to their money. It doesn't speak well.
Thank you very much. Olayinka is of the opinion that NBA is entitled to the money and they should return it if it was given on the grounds of hosting. Right? Tayo is of the opinion that NBA should return this money to uphold their motto, which is promoting the rule of law and to enable people to have faith in the organization as an organization that upholds rule of law and is not impugned and biased towards financial gifts and all of that. I, on the other hand, I'm still of the opinion that NBA should hold on to the money, considering that it was not given on the grounds of hosting, it was given unconditionally. On this note, thank you very much for joining us in this wonderful, interesting episode of Loyalty. I remain Ajilore Princess. This has been Loyalty. Thank you very much.